Hello, Brentwood High School. I'm Oliver Brogdon.
And I'm Mahaffey. Welcome to the Halloween special edition of WBHS 9 News. Behind us, the Mahaffey Slave Cemetery, also known as the Midway Cemetery.
This land around us was a part of the Revolutionary War land grant to the Crockett family, as in Crockett Park. The family moved to this area around 1799. Elizabeth Crockett married Lysander McGavick, and the plantation grew to about 1,000 acres. The plantation house that still remains is now the clubhouse at the Brentwood Country Club.
The first slaves were buried here about 200 years ago. It's believed about 38 people were buried here, although 9 graves had to be removed in 1990 when Murray Lane was widened to 4 lanes. There are no names or dates on the simple rock headstones. The city of Brentwood maintains the cemetery and built the monument here.
With Halloween tomorrow night, many still aren't sure whether to go trick-or-treating or partying. Ethan Meadows looks at how many will be celebrating Halloween differently.
It's surprising. So, you got a ring, right? Take it, squeeze it.
With the coronavirus still around and restrictions still being abided by, many events are off the table. One thing that will be drastically affected is the American holiday Halloween. With traditional trick-or-treating being frowned upon by the CDC, many must find alternate ways to celebrate this holiday.
Well, considering the church doesn't do regular trick-or-treating, the way that we handle that is with something we call trunk or treat. It's an event we hold out in the parking lot, and we had a long discussion about whether or not we were going to do it, but felt we could do it in a way that still followed some of the guidelines of social distancing and mask and those kind of things. Of course, Halloween is all about wearing masks anyway, so one of the things we did in planning this out was to move the cars out. Trunk or treating means that they go to a trunk, and just like trick or treating at a trunk. And so what we asked the people to do was come up with safe ways to give candy. And we had some creative ways of shooting them down a chute, or people just letting the individuals reach in and get them themselves or whatever. Plus we spread all the cars out, and we kind of asked folks to kind of stay back and go in family. So they've alternated through. And it was our way of still having some time of fellowship, but also being able to, to practice some social distancing. And we did different things to keep folks apart, to keep them in different areas. One of the things that ended up happening is we didn't have as many come, but yet those who did seemed to have an enjoyable time. That I would say the majority of them were wearing masks, which we did ask them to do. All of our workers were wearing masks. And we just wanted to give the opportunity to come and to get some candy and just have a great time. And I think it worked out okay.
Experts warn that if people were to continue with the traditional trick-or-treating, a spike in case numbers could be expected.
For me, as the pastor of the church, I always err on the side of caution. And I wonder, with the way trick-or-treating has become, especially on Halloween evenings, a lot of families will be standing outside and handing out candy. I think if we kind of begin to practice some social distancing, then maybe we can still have a little bit of what we're accustomed to by allowing, by making our houses welcoming and scary for Halloween, or however we want to do it, and yet keep the social distancing, maybe not giving out candy, but letting folks come in and get their own or whatever. So will it? If you have traditional Halloween parties and all that, then I think we're taking chances that we don't need to take. But I think there are creative ways we can come up with to still make Halloween special.
Although it is recommended by the CDC, county laws are not restricting a more traditional style of Halloween. It is each individual's choice as to how they will celebrate the holiday. Ethan Meadows, WBHS 9 News.
In sports, no surprise that Brentwood won its 8th straight volleyball state championship. What was surprising was who was back on the sideline, head coach Barbara Campbell. The Hall of Fame coach was hospitalized 4 weeks ago after suffering a stroke. Assistants Kathy Cram and Angie Noble kept the team focused and helped them get to the finals. But just moments before the Lady Bruins took the court against Siegel, Campbell walked into the gym and sat down on the bench. It was a huge surprise to her players and to Coach Campbell.
I didn't even know I was coming until about an hour before the match. And I just wanted to sneak in and get my place on the bench and be close to them. They gave me a warm welcome. It was very special. Because you just didn't know when we were all going to see each other again. And I wanted to see him play so bad. and they certainly didn't let me down. I thought they played just an incredible match tonight.
BHS defeated Siegel 3-0. Senior Shea Eggleston was named tournament MVP. Tonight, the football team wraps up its regular season. At 7-2, the Bruins have already secured a spot in the playoffs. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. You can watch it live on the Brentwood High School YouTube channel. Election Day is now just 4 days away. Williamson County schools will be closed on Tuesday. This will be some students' first chance to vote for the next president of the United States, as well as senator and representative.
We haven't seen any flying around us, but Halloween is associated with bats more than any other animal. There are 1,400 species of bats in the U.S. 15 are common here in Tennessee. The bat is the only mammal that can truly fly, and it helps control the insect population. However, they do pose health problems for humans. Bats can carry rabies, and many cultures eat them for food. If one gets close to you, just shoo it away. It's illegal to kill a bat in Tennessee unless it turns into a vampire.
Coming up, a pumpkin patch that raises hundreds of thousands of dollars for charity every year.
And after that, we take a look at WCS's new Flex Days.
Hello. Hello. Chef Boyardee.
It's a sure sign of Halloween. A popular pumpkin patch in Cool Springs is reopening. COVID is having an effect on sales, but as Rad Abdullah reports, it's not how you think.
You see it every October in front of the Cool Springs Walgreens. The Cooper Trooper Pumpkin Patch raises thousands of dollars each year for charity.
The Cooper Trooper Foundation was founded 11 years ago by Rod and Missy Cook. They began the organization because they had a child, Cooper, who was undergoing pediatric cancer at that time. What they found is that their other two siblings, Carson and Colby, were very often afraid and feeling overlooked in the process, and which makes sense because when you have a child that has cancer, most of the attention is given to the sick child. So they started the organization in order to fund care for the healthy siblings in the way of Courage Kits, to help the healthy siblings through the process of pediatric cancer.
The Pumpkin Patch has opened every year since the Cooper Trooper Foundation was founded. Each year they operate in the same area, right by the Walgreens at the corner of Mallory Lane and Cool Springs Boulevard.
We have contributed $350,000 to Vanderbilt Children's Hospital for pediatric cancer research. Additionally, we have contributed $100,000 for the construction of a private family chemotherapy room. This is in addition to the 22 hospitals that we serve by sending Courage Kits for the healthy siblings.
Siblings may also contact the Cooper Trooper Foundation to directly ask for a Courage Kit to be sent to their house.
Well, today we had a shipment of 40,000 pounds of pumpkins.
This shipment was an entire tractor trailer full of pumpkins. Typically, they sell 4 to 6 trailers full of pumpkins. This year, however, may be different.
COVID has impacted how we operate in terms of social distancing measures that we have implemented. We also encourage all of our volunteers to wear masks to keep other people safe and healthy. In addition, this year we are sanitizing all of our pumpkin wagons after each use so they'll be fresh and clean and safe for the next customer. COVID has impacted our sales in a dramatic way in the way of increased sales. We've had a record year thus far, including a record day over the weekend, and so we have been on the uptick as a result of COVID.
The Cooper Trooper Foundation Pumpkin Patch has served Williamson County for 11 years and hopes to continue to operate for many years to come. Ryan Balrub, WBHS 9.
Williamson County has now implemented Flex Days. Flex Days will function the same as asynchronous days during online learning, as students will not be reporting to school or be Zooming all day. There will be 2 Flex Days in the remainder of the first semester, November 13th and December 4th, as well as 6 in the second semester.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Mahaffey.
And I'm Oliver Brogdon. Have a happy Halloween.